Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook viewers. Good morning to everyone around the world, all people, all languages, all colors. Wishing you the best morning and the best day that you can possibly have. Beautiful day, beautiful Monday. Today we're going to talk on a subject that everybody likes, but today you're going to get the true reality of what everybody likes and everyone will never attain. So that is wealth and richness. But before we start, click like, subscribe, and before we get into this topic, and people who know from when I first started out a couple of years ago to now, I've never ever called a person out as being pure evil. It takes a lot to reach a list of being pure evil. But by me calling this person out today on this video, it ties in with exactly what I've been saying throughout all of my videos. There is no separation. You are not unique. People do not think individually. When you look at the big picture, we're going to find that it's a mindset that we go through. That's a different topic. But by calling this person out, this person has no fear. So that fear can be applied in what we're talking about today. And my condolences to the person that lost their life in the event due to this person's negligence. And we're going to call her out straight away. Her name is Jennifer Caldwell. Jennifer Caldwell out of Florida. And what makes this person such a piece of trash, she's 24 years old, but this person has no fear. However, it's fear for her, no fear of her life, but putting your life in jeopardy, she has no problem with it. And that's the difference between when it comes to wealth and richness in life. We're going to find out that there's no separation in that type of mindset. So let's call out Jennifer Caldwell. Jennifer was on probation, and she was on probation because she was driving recklessly and caused the life of an individual. However, she was put on probation, and while on probation, they took her license. She was not allowed to drive. However, she gained access to someone's car because the car was not stolen and she was driving. She was charged with driving without a license. However, when you see the video footage, there's four people total in the car. One person died, two people survived. When you look at the video, at what point do you say to yourself that the other three people were saying, keep going, you can beat them, you can outrun them? Those people were in that car saying, yo, stop, you're playing with our lives. Yet this 23-year-old piece of trash, this evil individual, had no intentions. She doesn't give two craps about what these people think. And then we're going to find out why she thinks that way in today's video. So, long story short, she's chasing with the police. Not the first time. And the first time when the person lost their life, that wasn't the first time either. This is something that this person does. This is a mindset. And the mindset is I'm going to do whatever it takes because I want this type of adrenaline. I feed on this adrenaline. However, I'm afraid to die. That's the hang up. You want to chase, you want to get on the highway, you want to speed, you want to, do everything for this adrenaline, but you don't want to die. And you have no problem taking someone else's life. Because when you watch the video, she swerved the car away from the driver's side of the car, going full impact on the passenger and whoever else was on that side of the car, in her little pursuit of, I'm going to save me. But hey, that was a crazy ride. So, me, myself, personally, I was involved with, I knew a person who was a speed junkie. We all know who these people are. But however, I was in the front seat. And when I heard about the story about Jennifer, I remember what I went through in the front seat of his car. At no point did I ever sit back and say, yo, push this car to the limit. Wow, you're going, we're flying. Never once. We all were saying, slow down. Now, the person who was in the car that was in the back seat, who, rest in peace, Lee, who's no longer with us, And it wasn't due to that accident, but in some kind of way, maybe it was. Um, he yelled out, car, and which there was a car in front of us. Now the car was on the driver's side that was coming up the road. We were on the wrong side of the road. So now for him to slide over back into his lane, he would have took the full brunt of this impact. That's not what he did. He spun that car, and when he spun that car, it faced me. I watched that thing come head on and smack right into us. When it hit us, the car tumbled. And, you know, it wasn't so much as the accident, it was the fact of what was going on, what was his mindset. You know, he had no problem swinging a car, which could not do that, because before he swung the car to make that maneuver, the car had already begun to tumble. I think the car had already flipped one time sideways before the impact of the truck even came. But when the Jeep hit us, it split that car wide open. So for those people that was in that car, I know exactly what you went through. And you know, the only good thing that I can say was it, because 9 out of 10 times, everybody that was in my car was unconscious. We didn't have to go through the full brunt of the pain. So, you know, my condolences go out to all of you. But, you know, future reference, stay away from people with that type of mindset. They have no problem, you know, putting your life before theirs, even though they're the ones that's causing it. And these people have no fear, except fear for their own life. We're going to find out how that's in common. Okay, so today is part 2 of a 4-part series based on what holds us back from wealth, happiness, and success. So today we're speaking about wealth, because wealth is something that we're all trying to get from birth, something that we're talked about to as children. Oh, you know, you get married, you're going to marry a prince and he's going to take you away. Or you're going to, you know, when you know, you're going to get this job and then you're going to get the ultimate woman and you're going to live happily ever after. Come to find out, fairy tales. Let's find out why these things are fairy tales. Not saying that they're not possible, because they are, but it's far and few. However, let's find out the background on this. Okay, so today we're talking about money and how to attain it and how to attain more money, in which, you know, most of us need. Well, in order to understand wealth and understand money, we're going to find out, most of the times we're on this channel, we're finding out things that we think we know, we really don't know. So we're knowing things now, because we can assume and we can have opinions all we want, but in a legal room, whether a legal entity, whether it be a court of law, or whether it be a corporate board meeting, you are held to the exact meanings of words, what you may have an opinion to, or what you may believe. So there's a line where it crosses, where reality has to come first and foremost. So we're going to understand it. Wealth. Wealth means an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Valuable possessions. That does not mean property. That does not mean land. Valuable possessions can mean individuals. It can mean livestock. It can mean cattle. These are possessions. And what is a possession? A possession is something that you do not love. You cannot have love for a possession, or you will not possess more. So now this is what wealth is, and then you understand what that mindset is of the wealthy. They care less about you, less about you or anyone else in your family. So money is different. Rich people are completely different from wealth, and this is one thing, we think that rich people are wealthy. That's bullcrap. Rich people are not. They're just on a loan. Rich people are on a loan. And the way this loan works is, you know, as long as you're under our umbrella, we'll make sure that you're okay. But your money can be taken away, bing, in an instant. Let's talk to people like Bill Cosby. Let's talk to people like Michael Jackson. Let's talk about people like Prince. So these are people, you know, it's a color barrier when it comes into the institution of wealth. There's a color barrier there. And there are people of color in that circle. We just never see them, we'll never meet them, and we'll never know who they are. They're there. And that's all colors and all races. That's why I start out every video, all people, all colors, all races, because there is one person out of your race within this ultimate 5% group. So they're doing you the things that you think that are, you're looking the other way. These people are condoning on their own people. That's wealth. That's power. Okay? So money is defined differently. Money is defined as the current medium of exchange. And when we say what is a medium is just something that is in between, something that makes something agreeable. It doesn't necessarily mean, financial. We use financial, but that's not what money is all about. And we'll find out that when it comes to the very, very wealthy, money is not even something that these people carry. They don't even see it. That's deep. Now you want to talk about wealth? We'll talk about real stuff. So the people you see on TV, the people out there flashing all this stuff, that is nothing. Nothing. That's on a loan. You're rich. That's on a loan. That can be taken away. Wealth can't. Wealth owns countries. You talk about wealth, you talk about the queen. She owns a country that she doesn't even live in. Think about that when it comes to wealth. So you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to take over a country. But again, no fear. Fear works differently. So get back into our discussion. By discussing the reason of many becoming and why becoming rich is possible. Wealth is something only a few will attain. We just went away, but now we're coming back. Okay, so wealth is something that only few will attain, and by understanding our reality, we will learn just how temporary being rich actually is. Because you think about it, go to some of the stars that, when you were a kid, they had like this TV shows, and they had all these fans coming behind them, and we as kids were like, oh, they're set for life. Why are they still working? Wealthy people don't work. They have people that work for them. They answer to them. Rich people, if you're working, you're not rich. You're not. You're on a loan. Get back with reality. Do you want to be on a loan, or do you want to live your best life and be happy about it and not have to be chasing something? Because these people can't stop chasing. The rich can't stop chasing the carrot. They're already hooked. They're already gone. So how many of the viewers out there understand that wealth is an institution? Most people think, hey, if I, work hard, okay, it's written in here, so I'm going to just keep reading. Not something that wealth is an institution. It's not something that you can work hard to attain, nor money can open its doors to admission. So you can't come in and say, hey, I'm worth $250 million, let me in. It doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, Bill Cosby would own, I believe it was NBC or CBS, he would own it. And the elite told him, no. Not only did we tell you no, you came to our door after we told you to get away from our door, and you kept knocking on our door. Take your ass to jail and figure it out. You'll keep your money, but you'll know your place in this institution. So again, when you think of, hey, let me do what it takes to become wealthy, you're not wealthy, you're only rich. Okay? And that's second class, because if something can be taken away from you, you ain't got nothing. Take something away from a wealthy person. Wealthy people cannot go broke. It's impossible. Impossible. Think about that. Impossible. Think about the people that you see on TV. Think about the people you see flaunting wealth. No matter if it's in the music industry, no matter if it's in the corporate industry, if you're putting it out there, it can be taken away. Because the truly wealthy people, you don't see what they own. You only know what they own. You don't see them, you only see what they own. They're not in the picture. Okay? So, we're coming to reality of what reality is, so that we can find the fear, the proper fear within our reality to make what we have become worth more than anything in the world. to the individual, not to the rest of the world. But the rest of the world doesn't matter. It only matters what's within you and within the people that's around you, and that's all you should care about. But we're going to explain that. That's a fear also. So the reality is that being rich takes money, whereas wealth functions without money. Why, you may ask? Also, what about the statistics that say 68% of the rich are self-made? We can talk about people from Amazon, we can talk about people from Facebook who started out in a garage, we can talk about so many people, but there's a catch to this. Let's get into this catch, because we're being real with ourselves. We're motivating ourselves to rethink what we've been led astray from thinking properly too. Okay? So my response is to that comment of the 68% is to track that individual's name. Track his wealth. Track his name and find out who their family is and where they actually come from. Something that we don't do. It's like almost like if I show you a photo of a picture, a man of a picture sitting inside of a broken down hut, and he's making I think, what is that, origami, those little paper mache things, and those things just go completely viral. Everybody has to have them. This guy's worth over $100 billion. He started out in that garage. We would all say, wow, that is awesome. If he can do it, I can do it. Now take that same guy and say this while we're going through how this person made this money. He's sitting in a broken down hut and he's doing these origamis, and he's certain that soon these things are going to be a big seller. People told him no, and his family, who was beyond wealth, beyond riches, didn't lend a hand. Bullshit. And we have to stop. We have to stop sitting back thinking that these people are self-made when their family is rich beyond rich. If my family is wealthy beyond wealthy, I could do whatever the hell I want. I could sit there and design a toilet bowl, spend the whole life designing a toilet bowl. A toilet bowl that don't mean jack and won't have use for anyone. However, my name will get that toilet sold. My name will open up that door to say, hey, let us buy 10,000 of your toilets, even though we're only going to sell one. Let me buy your product, even though we only have so much space in our warehouse and we know that we can't move your product. We are going to buy your product. Or let's buy your product so you can resell it again and give it back to you to resell. So there's so many different ways when we look at what a person's name is and who a person is connected to. We get a very, 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 very different picture than the 68%. It boils down to more like 5% that actually start out, have no name, have no backing, have no power behind their name to take them to the next step. So we say now, out of that 5%, okay? So out of that 5% of the 68% are the self-made, the true self-made. However, 68% throws reality off. And that's why they throw out a large number like that, and not tell you that these people are actually related to, in the families of some of the most wealthiest people in the world. They don't tell you these things. And that's because it gives, the 68% throws you off from what true reality is. Meaning that you can become wealthy when in fact you will never become wealthy. That's what that number 68% represents. You will never become. You will become rich, but rich is temporary. Rich is not something that is sustained. It's not a sustained power. Wealth, again, is an institution. It's not how much money you have. So let's focus on that 5%, because this is who we are, okay? And how they become the super rich. What do they have that we lack? And that question to that answer is they nothing. It's how they view fear and how we view fear. Okay? So let's talk about how we view fear. We view fear as a consciousness of others. It's how we view fear. That's what stops us from becoming wealthy, and to uh, what allows us to stay where we are right now. Because there's a jump to become that. And we're going to show you that that fear is where that jump transpires. Anyone out there can become wealthy beyond wealthy. Anyone. We're going to discuss what it takes to become. And you think it's hard work. It's not. So, we view fear as a consciousness of others, what a person thinks, what a person feels, and how a person will react. We fear those things. Where, now we're going to talk about the rich. And the rich, I don't mean the people who we see because there are rich people that are around us. I have a rich person within my family, a rich person. So, we all know someone who is rich, who has that type of money. Okay? So, the only fear that these people that these people have, is a fear of loss of riches. So when it comes to the people that like we know and the people that we see on TV, their whole mindset is not to lose the wealth that they have. They could care less about anything else as long as it doesn't take away from their wealth. They care about how they look. They care about what people think. They care about how they care. So the things that we fear are the things that they flip, because we say we buy a car because the neighbors say, hey, we see this person walk all the time, or if it's a woman, they say, well, she needs a car. We always see her with groceries. Now that woman goes out and buys a car, but yet and still she rarely drives a car. So she bought this because of someone else, a fear of what someone else thinks. Whereas a rich person doesn't care. What they do is they already have it. They know that they have it. So therefore, if you say, oh, that car looks okay, that's what they fear. Not the fact that they have it. So now let's look at the wealthy, truly wealthy. Truly wealthy fear nothing. They fear nothing. And there's a reason for that. And why? Because you say, well, look at this little scraggly guy. See the picture, you can just mush him and push him off the table. That person has more power than what you have, because that person can do some more. They can outthink the damage that you would do to a person. They will do it. They will act on it. They have acted on it. So that's why they have no problem with it. No matter if a person can, what a person can do to them physically, they're beyond all that. So they don't care. They don't care. You'd be surprised. The good movie that explains that is Tropical Thunder, where the producer, they were like, the cast got kidnapped, and the producer's like, you want what? I will come near and personally, that's when you're dealing with raw power. And if you look at that scene in that movie, you'll see that that's when you deal with truly wealthy, whether it be a man or a woman, that's the mentality that they have. No ifs, ands, or buts. When you walk and you're in their presence, you are on eggshells. You can be one of the richest people in the world, and when you're in their presence, you're on eggshells. So the wealthy fear nothing, because they no longer deal with money. They are power. So what's the separation is that most of us have a conscience, whether we know it or not. Even the rich have a conscience. This is why they can't take the next step to become truly wealthy, because when you become wealthy, you can have none of that. You have no conscience. So when it comes to riches and the wealth, stop dreaming. Your chances are better by you playing the lottery. Accept what your reality is. And this is what most people don't. And this is why the fear of what happiness is. The fear of us is that, we have to continuously chase. But then if we stop, where would that leave us? The world will go, the world will pass us by. However, come back to this and you'll see where true wealth is. Because true wealth is True wealth is accepting your reality, making what you have already attained as well as what you will attain in moderation too, the best comfort for your life as well as your family and the people around you. Finding wealth, happiness, and success in what you have, not in what you seek. And this is what we're all taught. We gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. But the truly wealthy, the reason that they're wealthy is because they don't care. You know, and in my situation, I can say I'm wealthy because I don't care about what the next person has. I don't care what the next person is doing. I don't care what you think of me. So how can I not be? And this is what you should be, you know? So let's get on with some of the drawbacks that the rich have. You know, they don't have a fear, but they have drawbacks, and they can deal with them, and this is why. They don't have fear like we have fear. These are individuals who are stuck on a fence. People who cannot gain entrance to the wealthy, yet have also burned too many bridges to go back to their roots. See, it's the people like you and me that help people become wealthy. It's the people like you and me that help people to become rich. Well, not wealthy. We help people to become rich. So, case in point, it's like by buying a CD or going to a movie or buying Tupperware or buying a car. We make people rich. Where where they can't gain entrance to the wealthy. They cannot get to that. The wealthy just will not let them in. It doesn't matter. It's not based on money. It's just, again, it goes to who you know and who will vouch for you. So for these people, you know, they burn bridges to get there, to knock on that door. It's almost like I had a discussion with my son yesterday, and I said how, you know, two men start out and they open up a business out of their garage. Now the business is going and the business starts doing really, really well. Now they're no longer in a garage. They own, you know, companies all over the place. They have more money than they know what to do with. Now the business is starting to do bad, and you know they're they're everything is being stretched to the limit. Businesses are shutting down. This is shutting down. That's shutting down. To finally the point where they have to file for bankruptcy. Now, one of the owners, two of the guys that started out in the garage with their business, now he's going to, you know, go and get food stamps because his money is completely gone. His riches, his wealth is gone. He's applying for food stamps. Now his partner, who they started out together, during the whole time that business was failing, the other partner had a business and never told his partner about it. Hey, I got a business over here and it's doing financially, it's doing well. It's actually the competition for the business we're in right now. We make a similar product, but you know, this is the business. Never told the person. That's cold. That's the coldness of what it takes to become rich. To watch somebody who's suffering financially, knowing that you have all the means to help that person out, and you don't do it. That's the iceness. That's the coldness of being rich. That's why when you walk into a bank and you say, "Hey, I want to put a deposit on this home," this is why they can sit there and say, "Well, you know, we just can't give you that loan." That's why. So too many bridges that these people burn, and they don't care about it. Don't think it's like they walk off and they have a conscience and they care. They care less. This is why we're in the position we're in, and they do what they do. They don't care. The only thing that matters to them is themselves. Okay. But because of that, because they only have, you know, themselves, they're stuck in a world, and their world is where there's no trust, there's no love, and there's no way out. Because that carrot now, you got to stay with it. No matter what your beliefs were, no matter what your values were, you got to stay chasing that carrot. So you're no longer a person anymore. You're more of a robot than us, the average people. No wonder they crap on us because of the situations they're in and the things that they have to do. Okay, so some of us might say, well, they deserve that, that they deserve that type of life. They shouldn't have it as easy. Yet, there's a difference, and I'm going to explain that. The difference is their mindset only cares about self, not minding the superficiality of the company they keep. They are superficial. So the reason that it doesn't affect them in living in that world that would affect us, it would make or break us, it would destroy us, mentally. For them, they can deal with it because in here is already empty. They're superficial. So, we think that they're going through pain because of, the butt kissing and everything that they have to do in order to maintain and chase after this life. But in actuality, it affects them in no way. It's like going out dealing with a narcissist. Most wealthy people are narcissists. Most rich people are narcissists. And when you want to know what a narcissist is, look that up, and you'll find out that you're right. That is that type of mindset. So, they're on a fence, and they don't have a way out. They have to spend the rest of their life. That's why you see when wealthy people die, they become really, really angry and miserable. Um, let's talk about the wealthy because I know we got to end this and we're going on. Now we're dealing with the wealthy. Now these individuals function beyond money, as I said before. Power and domination is all that matters to them. So they don't see money. They might not even carry it. I said that earlier. Um, they care about power and domination. And most of them, they don't even carry money. Like I said earlier, they don't carry money, nor do they see the money that they own. You will also find that these individuals are heavily into the occult. Whether you want to believe it or not, this world is run by this religion, and religion has been around for a long time. And wealth and religion go hand in hand because it's the power of a God that grants you power. So they have to be serving something. It's not the God that you and I are out there serving. I can guarantee you that. But you'll find it. You'll find that the occult is right there mixed in with it. And the reason that the wealthy can order such chaos and destruction, which they do, they fund both sides of a war. Sit there and fund both sides of a war. That's crazy. That's chaos. That's destruction. We know it to be true. It is because you and I will never meet them. We only see the puppets. We only see the rich people, the people that they put out there. We don't see the shot callers. We only see their puppets, their minions. So we're going to end with this. The reality is seeking riches and wealth is an attribute. It's not something that, it's an attribute. It's internal. It's internal to your mindset, your subconscious, your conscious, and who you are. That's where people know where wealth is coming from. And by doing self-assessments within yourself, you will know that if you are going to be rich, you're going to be wealthy, or what you are. If you believe in something that, is something that you believe based on what your opinions are and what you are in there, you're going to live in chaos. It's just chaos. But to know yourself, you can become and do anything that you want and go on a direction and a path that will take you there. So the reality is seeking riches, seeking wealth is an attribute, not something hard work nor invention will ever take you to. So when people sit back and say, oh, I work hard, I'll do this, I'll do that, and it'll happen, bull crap. You might get to a certain extent. Most of the people that those doors open up to do absolutely nothing whatsoever, and they have no conscience. So they don't have to work. You work for them. Remember that. They don't have to invent. You invent for them. And I want to share this. There was a woman who worked for a music producer. So the music producer, she walks into the room, and we're going to get kind of graphic with this. But she walks into the room, and there's a male star, like a big top star, giving this guy another man oral, giving the producer oil or oral, I should say. And the after the, the guy leaves and everything, the lady was like, look, I'm your personal assistant or secretary, whatever position she was with him, but she had access to his house, his home, and everything. She said, I would like it if if you say something, I wouldn't have walked in the room if I would have known this was going on. His response to her was, whenever another man can make a man do that, that is power. So think about that. This is a person who's seeking to become wealthy. This is a person who's, has that type of money. He's knocking on that door, but that door won't open. But he's only doing the power that was done unto him to allow him to get there. So if the man that was on, the star that everybody knew, who was big at one time, and he was doing this to this music producer. What were the people above the music producer doing to him? And this is where it all gets distorted. We live in a distorted world, and part of morning motivation is waking up to our true reality. Because the more you seek, the more you climb that ladder, the more is going to be asked of you. Hard work and inventions mean jack when it comes to moving up. So we have to realize it's always the mindset. The mindset is different. Fear to them means wealth and power. Everything has its place. The wife, the family, the social interactions, and business are tools like accessories in having or attaining importance in one's progressions of one's pursuit of wealth, caring nothing for who or how it affects others. Fear. So, like we just said, when you talk about the rich, you talk about the wealthy, there's a lot of women, a few women that I know personally that watch this channel that have been at that power circle, that wealth circle. So I'm actually talking to you on this one. So you can say that what you hear in this video is correct. Because when it comes to dealing with people who are truly wealthy, you're only a possession. They don't care about you. Because most of the women find out that, they get divorced from these guys. These guys divorce them. But it's the things that's going on through the marriage that these women don't talk about, which I would hope that they would, is that these guys do not care. They're only a prop. They're only a prop. And as beautiful as these women are, most of those guys, they don't even sleep with those women. They're only a prop. So, these are the things when you work so hard and you feel that, hey, my brain power and, what I bring to the table, I'm rising, and now I got, this guy, he owns these companies and, everything is good. I got the most beautiful life. Then you find out once you marry the guy that, he's sleeping in another room. Never even around you. And the thing is, it's like, here, take the credit card, take the money and go spend. But ask those women who are divorced from those men right now why they're divorced if it was all about money. If it was all about money, J-Lo and Mark Anthony would still be married. J-Lo and Puffy would be married. J-Lo and A-Rab would be married. It's just so many different things of how these things work, and we find that no, at the end of the day, they're props. So, the proper fear is for us to have is the fear of to hold on to what we've attained. Attain things that, fall in moderation, what makes us who we are, which makes us comfortable. And then we experience happiness. Then we experience wealth. Then we experience success. And we'll have the proper fear of it. So when it comes to, wealth, the way that the wealthy and the rich view fear is far different from the fear that we have, or the way that we view wealth and we view riches. So I just want to leave that, and 2 days we'll have part 3, and part 3 is going to discuss happiness. And you're going to say, well, how does does fear affect happiness? Well, we're going to discuss that. But today we discuss about fear and how fear is applied to wealth and what stops us, what holds us back from true wealth and true power and true richness. So have an awesome day, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Let's get this day started. Like I said, I know this was a kind of a long video, but at the same time, I want us to all, get smarter and not just to be smarter, to use our thinking in a proper way that benefits and lifts others around us. Because too much belief of everything and anything, going away from what facts are. So, let's get back to our realities and let's understand what holds us back from, true happiness. And with that, everyone, have an awesome day. Have a beautiful day. Click like, subscribe, and share. A lot of stuff on the playlist, talking about different topics through life. Have a beautiful day, everyone. With that, peace and blessings.